Kirby, Kirby, that's a name you should know. Kirby, 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 he's the star of the show. He's more than you think, he's got maximum pink. Kirby, Kirby, Kirby's the one.
Welcome everybody to Dottendo Commentaries as we tackle yet another classic NES playthrough. This time we're going for Kirby's Adventure. And Chaz is here with you.
And Clay.
And we're taking you through, this is technically Kirby's second adventure in his long career of saving Dreamland. And
first one was on the regular Game Boy, old black and white, I believe, or
the old
gray.
The old gray brick that we used to have back in the day.
Classic.
Yes, I still have one of those. I think it's actually one of at the time they were releasing different colors of them, and I have a green one.
Oh yeah, I remember they had like a clear plastic one was the one I always saw.
Oh yeah, you can see the insides. But anyway, so yeah, the first one was on the Game Boy. This is Kirby's second one, and as you can see here, this is technically, or actually, the first Kirby game where he gains the power to gain new abilities.
His trademark ability.
Yes, becomes. I don't think there's ever been a Kirby game afterwards where he can't absorb their powers, and we're not counting Epic Yarn.
If you can't die, I don't know.
Yeah, Kirby. Yeah, Kirby is relatively easy as it is, so taking away the death, really... Anyway, we'll probably get into that at some point in the future. But yeah, so this is like the very informative introduction here, showing us all the things that you can do. And look, you can even absorb boss characters.
I love that.
Yes.
I would usually ditch my power, even if it was good, just to take the boss characters.
Yeah, like, I'm not a fan of some of them, but when we get to Bonkers... That's one of my favorite ones. But we're getting ahead of ourselves here. As we see the backstory here, the peaceful life of Dreamland is shattered. Uh-oh, something bad is happening. Dreams are being suppressed all across Dreamland. So Kirby, being the hero that he is, screams Poyo! And rushes to adventure. However, the Star Rod was taken by King Dedede. And I'm kind of skipping over the story a bit here, but basically what happens is the Star Rod, which Kirby can use to bring back the dreams, has been taken by King Dedede and split apart into different pieces and given to various boss characters all across the land. So what's a hero to do? Looks like he's moving away.
Yeah, looks like he's hitting the road.
Kirby, our little hobo. Alright. Yeah. Alright, so we have a big sword duel starting off Vegetable Valley. We know Kirby's gonna win this one. What? Kirby, it's right down there! Oh, look at that. See, when you can't win, eat your enemy. Alright.
The thing that Kirby taught me, it is that.
Yeah. When you can't win, just inhale. You'll be okay. So we're getting some basic stuff. Here's your very first power, which I could have used if I didn't spit it out. There it is.
There we go.
The beam power. It's a pretty standard... It's an effective move. It's got a bit of range to it. It takes out most enemies with one hit, but then again, most enemies are taking it with one hit regardless.
True.
That's one of the good things about this. It is a pretty easy game, so like, you know, even young gamers can get right into it.
Yeah, no, I didn't really have a problem with it. At least the Game Boy one, which was probably my favorite thing about it at the time.
Yeah, very simplistic, although that one was more limiting in that you didn't have extra powers you could gain from anybody. You basically had to inhale things and spit them back. And as you can see, there's a nice little tomato down there, which I don't quite need at this point. But tomatoes are Kirby's main source of health regeneration. You think a character like this would be more like something candy-like or whatever, but no, he's a healthy eater. He likes his fruits, or vegetables, whatever tomatoes are technically classed as. Here we come to Crane Fever. Now take a note of that star in the bottom right corner, because that shows the difficulty of the minigame. The more stars, the harder it's going to be.
Yep, gotta go for the big one first.
Well, of course. The big ones are harder to pick up because you have to get right in the center, which I fortunately did. If you see the doll starting to jiggle a little bit, that means you might lose your grip before getting it back to the drop slot. And I love when they land that close.
Yes.
Such a piece of cake. Yeah, this takes me back to my my carnival days. Look at that, perfect grab.
Oh, nice.
I'm pretty good at the carny games. A big Kirby gives you 2 free men, the smaller ones are just worth 1. So
Pretty good start.
Yep, smaller ones are easy to grab right within the claws, so if you want to go for some sure free men, go for those ones. Level 2, uh-oh, the Gordos. Or Gold Needles, as I believe they were called in Kirby's Air Ride.
Ah, Kirby's Air Ride.
And the cannons, which can't be destroyed. And every time you
now,
see
I noticed on this, like you have the firepower now, and I think in the Super Nintendo game, as early as that, when you were running and you did the power, you would actually turn into a fireball.
Sort of like a comet type attack, or...
Yeah.
Oh, that...
I've been playing this one on the 3DS,
Mm-hmm.
and I noticed that he didn't, have some of those like kind of extra powers that would come with the basic power.
Yeah, some are basically just your regular attack, but others in the newer games give you special abilities, like you're saying. The dash gives you a fireball.
Though I think in this one, if you do the slide move with the sword, he still does something kind of sword related there.
Perhaps, I think, yeah. Another thing I noticed too is if you're dropping from a certain height. Now I like this power, Crash Kirby. This is basically Kirby's supersonic attack, and you can only use it once. But look at that. But
Worth it.
Yeah, indeed. I only killed 1 guy, but whatever. But if you're falling from a certain height, Kirby kind of like leans forward, and then when he hits the ground, he bounces off of his head. But if you have the sword, he actually falls with the sword pointed down, and he can destroy an enemy by landing on them.
Oh, nice.
So there is a few little extra tweaks here and there for what he can do. But for the most part, his abilities do get better much later, especially in, I think it's the N64 game, where he can combine 2 powers.
Oh yeah, now that was cool.
Fridge Kirby. And I want that tomato. It is basically a full health recharge, but I can't seem to break that. There we go. I just destroyed my firepower, but that's alright.
Well worth it.
Good thing about Kirby is there's no shortage of powers you can pick up. And this guy down there with the broom, he actually becomes, I believe, Broom Kirby later on if you inhale him. Oh, and there's the Cappies. Anyone ever see
yes.
Kirby right back at you?
It wasn't the most difficult show there, but pretty entertaining.
I did like that. It was, from the very first episode, when it shows, all the sheep out there on the dark field, and this big creature shows up, and then it inhales them, and then all we see are the dead skeletal carcasses of the sheep. I thought, this ain't no kid's show. I was both impressed and creeped out pretty much equal parts.
And that's how you know it's good.
Exactly. When a show can make you have so many mixed feelings over the very first scene, you know they're onto something. Those cannons aren't too hard to deal with. Just take out their support platforms, get hit by the beam. And I think you were saying off camera at one point, sword is one of your favorite abilities.
Oh yes.
That's why I'm trying to hold on to it. I'm trying to show it off as much as possible.
That jump attack is good. Good. Always good.
Oh yeah, the jump spin. We can consider it basically a Sonic spin, I believe.
There you go.
Is that it? The only thing it's missing is the homing attack aspect of it.
And I guess the mini little shield that he has sometimes.
Yeah. Oh, the insta-shield, yeah. But yeah, the funny thing is I think this guy looks like Escargoon, that little snail. Also from Kirby Right Back at You.
Yeah.
I don't know if he was actually supposed to be a character from the games or not, but...
He was certainly a character.
Oh, he was. Dedede even more so, though.
Yeah, really stole the show sometimes.
Uh-oh, I'm down to 1 block of life.
Oh, danger, Kirby.
Hang in there, Kirb. Look at that. Yeah, he does do the sword with a slide attack, okay.
Nice.
Alright, take out Mr. Sparky. Guy!
Oh.
Lucky shot. That's not gonna happen again, folks, you can believe me. No more lucky shots! Alright, rage time. Die, everything! But yeah, look, I've still got 7 lives, so... Although it's a game that is sometimes easy to die in, it's really hard to lose overall.
Oh, cool.
There is a harder... Yeah, there's like Fireball plus... or regular fire plus Fireball Kirby. I don't know why they felt the need to give you 2 different fire moves, but I won't complain. But yeah, the Funny thing is, where I was talking about the Cappies, they're basically just regular enemies in this, but they were Kirby's friends and surrogate family in the cartoon.
That's true.
So I find it interesting. And what's really interesting is there's one Cappy named Kawasaki, I think. He was the chef.
Right, yeah. That's
In,
right.
which is it? I believe it's the Super Nintendo game, perhaps. He is actually a boss character.
Yeah, you can ultimately eat him, I think, right?
Yeah, you have to eat him. I think you become Cook Kirby. I remember watching Miles play it on his DS there, and I saw Kawasaki. I'm like, I can't believe he's actually in the game. And then Kirby ate him, and I was like, what?
I guess the important thing to know is no one's safe around Kirby.
Yes, and here's our first boss-type character-ish, I guess. Someone that takes more than one hit to go down, basically.
Does quite a bit of damage, though.
Oh, yeah. Ow! Go! I thought he was gonna hit me there, but no, he waited. So as you were saying earlier, when you do take out a boss character, eventually, you can then, if I can get him, take his power.
Nice.
Now I become Freeze Kirby, the only Kirby, I believe, which gives you a color change in this.
Interesting.
Yeah, everything else is, like, in later games he changes his appearance quite a lot, mostly just by the different hats that he wears.
Yeah, that's right. He doesn't have the hats in this.
Yes, I especially love when he becomes Sword Kirby, and he's clearly wearing Link's cap.
Oh yeah, they know what they're doing.
Yeah, there's no way that's like a coincidence. Just like the Buzzy Beetles in Super Metroid. Those are Buzzy Beetles. Those aren't whatever they're called in the instruction manual. Get past some more Cappies here. We're in like a tree area, a forested spot. I wonder who the boss of the first world's going to be.
I wonder.
Anyone who has ever played any Kirby game in existence is going to know who the first boss is. It's not this. I'm not trying to say it's repetitive. It's tradition.
Yeah, it's
And here we
know.
see Meta Knight
Oh hey.
handing us a nice hyper lollipop, which gives you again more supersonic type powers. There's a 1-up. Don't need it. You just plow through everything. And these mini games here we didn't explain, like the end of the stage. You have to hit the A button to spring upward, and the further down he is, the more of like an upward bounce you get, and the higher you get, the more points you get, possibly getting a 1-up.
I tell you, the timing on that can be pretty tricky.
Oh yeah. Okay, here comes that first boss I was talking about. Dun 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 dun! Surprise! It's Wispy Woods. Get used to that goofy-looking face on that tree now, folks. You're going to see it a lot in future installments.
Oh.
Ouch. Now he's pretty simple. Actually, many bosses are simple. You just gotta basically hit him until his life bar is done. Which can be said of any game. But avoiding the breath attacks is a little dangerous. Uh-oh. Whoa. Alright, 1 block of life left to live, Kirb. Do Dreamland proud, or whatever planet you come from.
Now that, oddly enough, I think I do remember from the first game. They said he was from the planet Popstar.
Oh, that's right. Good old Popstar, where all the Star Warriors come from, I assume. But with the end of Wispy Woods, we're done this part. We'll sign out and catch you next time.